Alright, hey there guys, thought I'd put up a quick stream. Dev's was a little short, by my standards, but then again mine have been pretty short lately too, so who can say that that's wrong? Hey Raven, how's your day going, sir? And anyone else who is actually watching, hallelujah, how you doing? I'm doing alright, getting a little stressed trying to find a good place. Getting closer though, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. How's the new setup doing? Going well, I hope? Just jump up from where you are, cat. I've seen you make bigger jumps than that. My desk is not necessary, thank you. Sorry about that little cat interruption. So I got rid of my dino, got rid of my cyano. Now I'm just dealing with the way the tank is doing. You got your stuff all moved over? Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. There we go. That up there for anybody who wants to use it. Gonna be a slow start to the stream. You're gonna try to do an update tomorrow? No, that's cool. That's fine. I'll catch it. I generally do. I've been uber busy in the personal life, so it's making things rather difficult to, one, find time to sit down and give 2 hours to something, or an hour even. World of Warcraft has made itself an ugly presence in my life again. Because the big expansion's coming. Like, I won't disappear, but come August, when it drops on the 14th, I mean, my birthday comes up a couple weeks after, my wife takes time off for that, so that's a huge deal for us. You know, we both have computers that can perform this time, so that's going to be kind of cool, so on and so forth. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to hopefully getting to Macna. That's going to be, Kelly's going to be doing the Seahorse Whisperer there tonight. I'm sure it'll come up again. And it's going to be, well, you guys got to get to donating. Yeah. Yeah, I basically, between, you never played it? Don't. As much as there's a couple of, they call so you can ride different creatures in WoW, life forms and stuff. And it's always nice to recruit somebody. They made so many changes to how you can level. It used to be quite lucrative for both parties, so you sign up through me, and we would get 300% XP. And what we would do is have somebody from my guild or my, a friend or family member that was playing with us, they would drag us through dungeons, and you would level, like, it wasn't uncommon to go through one dungeon and level 3 levels, right? So you could do that 10 times in an hour and get yourself through, quite a bit of content. They made changes, and, well, we want you to go out and see the world. I want you to kiss my butt, is how we felt about it. But until they make their decision on that, that's the way it is. So they drastically nerfed it, as they call it. Geez, we're not getting a lot of people. Everybody, summertime's going to be a drag, too. I was thinking about that the other day, that this is going to be like the gaming thing with streaming. It just seems to be a lot of people are, the reefers are out enjoying the weather, enjoying the cottage. Tanks are on autopilot right now, so nobody's really wanting to talk reefing, I guess. Yeah. I am going to do one thing, though. I'm going to share up the stream. Give me a sec here. There we go. Because that does help with getting a few more people around. Because the notifications still aren't going out properly, huh? I like that theme song. That worked out really well. I'm going to share this out a little bit. Give me a sec here. Sorry about that, going all quiet and that on you. So what else you been up to, Raven? I will look here at what you're saying in a moment. Yeah, some of the ones that I linked to. Hey, what's going on, DM? Yeah, I think everybody just summertime's like that, right? Wintertime, things kind of close up, and you know, people just generally want to go out and enjoy the weather, right? Because in the wintertime we are so kind of closed in, right? Yep. There we go. I just sent off a bunch of links so we can get a few more people in. Just shoot the breeze. Kelly's stream doesn't start for another hour, I think. I'll get a notification from her anyway. And I could keep streaming while she's streaming. Don't get me wrong. It's just more, again, a gentleman's agreement with her that, you know what, while you're streaming, I won't, because it's just productive anyway. And I want her channel to grow a lot. I want mine to grow, and mine grows by being affiliated, I guess, to some degree, because I'm always helping her out, making sure things run smooth for her. But she's got a pretty good grip on it now, eh? She's the Canadian just came out at me there, guys. So, thought I'd enjoy a coffee, shoot the breeze, let everybody know I am still alive. I'm okay. As rough as this whole 3-month stretch has been, you know, it's some days you just gotta, you know, bash your fists into the concrete and scream at the sky and like, geez, you know, could this be any more difficult? You know, I tore down my 120 to make it easier. I did a lot of, I don't know. I don't even know what to say half the time. I've just been trying not to curse and swear from the time I get up till I go to sleep. You know, it's getting too warm in Canada. Today is, yeah, not my kind of weather. Yeah, the 3 o'clock temp, which is about the hottest it's going to get in a day, most of the time was 27 Celsius, so give or take 82 degrees. That's like, no, I just go outside and instantly turn the air conditioning on in the car. I've literally, you know, we're moving in 2 weeks, so I'm like, do I bother putting the air conditioner in the window? It's a lot of, you know, pain in the arse to get that thing out of the window we're in. Hey, bees. You know, so the tank's not getting warm. It's in a good spot in the house. It's kind of like right in the middle, and it's in a breeze zone. So I'm more concerned in the evenings when it does cool off about making sure the temp stays stable. But yeah, everything's been pretty good. The 20's doing well. So, you know, it's now it's like, all right, I got to start packing. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I got to start packing. No, I'll do it later tonight. So, you know, that's what it's been. It's more, you know, watching my corals, trying to figure out why the plate's dying. You know, I'd say I'd test, but I can't get a hold of a nitrate test kit right now. Bummer. Hopefully going to be able to get one there in the coming weeks. So when I do my move, I know I'm going to dump my nitrates because I'm going to be basically getting everybody back into fresh salt water. So it's not that big a deal. I did a huge water change after the chemi clean, which did wonders for some corals. Some corals didn't like it so much. But we'll see where it goes. That's a good size for a QT, Raven. That's not bad. 52 liter, that's... Is that 20 gallon? Close to a 20 gallon? I love how you guys adopted the metric system, but you still drive in fucking miles an hour. And we went the other way. All metric that way, but, you know, we still buy milk and, like, it's 4 liters, but we know that's roughly a gallon. You know what I mean? Like, so weird. Well, I'll have a smoke with you guys. So DM, I know your tank's got to be rocking. Everything going well for you, buddy? Yeah. And Bees, how's it going for you? Oh, I do have a bit of news. Ick has crept into my world again, as usual. A young lady I sold a majority of my smaller fish to says she found ick on my fish, which is funny because then she's blaming me for her ick. And I said, you do realize I have video proof of this tank running for 3 years with no ick in it. And she kind of stopped, and I said, so if you want to blame me for your ick, where'd your other fish come from? And if the words Derek's Reef Shop come up, I know where your ick came from. And she just stopped up completely. All the accusations stopped instantly. And I said to her, she's 13, I said, you have an issue now at this point. You have a bunch of my healthy fish. I said, in with your fish. I said, what invertebrates do you have in your tank? And she's like, you could just see, like, all of a sudden there was no knowledge. None. Zero. They're just buying fish, dumping them in the tank. They don't know what they have. And I'm like, okay, do you have shrimp? Yes. Do you have starfish? Yes. Do you have, and I went down the list, just texting. And I said, your issue is this. All those guys have to come out. I can never go back in if you treat in that tank. And you could just hear the heartbreak that they are. It's like, yeah, I sold my fish to somebody who's going to kill them. That's pretty much how I feel about it at this point. Excellent, DM. Good to hear, man. That's always. I don't get it. How come? Have anybody ever really put any thought into this one? How come? Like, I can keep Mosophilia torches. I agree with Paul from RCW that torches tend to be the fussy ones. They tend to die really easy or don't take any swings, good. But hammers and frog spawn, as long as you keep things relatively good, they kind of hold out until things get better. And SPS don't suffer fools at all. We know that, right? Apocylopora. Really, Apocylopora are usually pretty tough bees. And yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I can't keep SPS in this tank, but then I went, no, wait a minute, that's a lie. I can keep Cephastria, Favites, some of the ones that they consider an SPS coral, no problem. It's things like Acropora, Stylopora, Apocylopora, nope. Just can't, never seem to. And it's not a light thing, because there's other things in here that want that kind of light. Nope, they're no problem. 13-gallon tank. Okay, I know which one. That's like an edge. Yeah. Is it a fluval edge? I thought you said fluval for sure there. Fluval C. Okay. Hey, what is going on? Positive Pyramid Programming. You get a microphone yet, lady? Yeah, it's so weird, right? Like mushrooms, I got them down pat. I know how to make them survive. That never seems to be an issue, but... Oh, good. Excellent. Good to hear. I'm sort of still in limbo. I think we got a place, but we're having a little trouble with... they want us to move in the middle of the month, which is like, are you kidding? I can't do that. I can't stay here that long, man. I'll have the sheriff at my door. Which we call the bailiff here, telling me I got an hour to get the hell out. So. Probably, bees. And you're moving on the 15th, see what I mean? Yeah, July 1st is going to be a weird weekend for me, so I'm kind of hoping that they agree with the look. You can come in and do the cupboards. I don't care if you do all the cupboards. Tear them out and put them back. We can survive without cupboards. We just leave things packed up and have a couple of plates ready, kind of deal, right? And whatnot. Painting. I'll do the painting. I got no problem painting. Put down the drop cloths, tape everything off, do it right. There you go. That's what they really look for, don't they, P? Same here. They're going to come here and it's going to be like, nope, you got to paint it. I've been here 3 years. Too bad you have to. But I'll have all the holes patched. I'll have everything sanded. Go to town. Yeah. And you know what's funny is they say they're kicking us out so they can renovate, and they dropped their hand with me and said, "Oh, we got to paint it." And it's like, uh-huh. Well, if you're gonna renovate it, you have to paint it, right? And they're like, oh yeah, uh-huh. So I know why I got kicked out of here, and it's because I don't want to pay that rent. They want to put the rent up here $200. It's not worth $200 more. I can get a wicked place for $900 a month. Nope. So, no, but you know, hence is life, right, guys? So, what you need to do, P, is go out to Walmart, get yourself a Logitech H340 headset. They cost like $20. They're USB. Plug it in. Boom, away you go. I'll tell you. Smartest thing I ever did. All these fancy headsets are great, but they're too damn heavy. They make my ears sweat and give me weird anxiety problems. Yeah, exactly, P. And that's where I caught them, right? So they're talking about doing the windows here because the windows are frickin' ancient. I looked them up. They're called Windjammer, which made it easy because it's right on some of the stuff, right? No, you better not. Not in our streams, my dear woman. Yeah. What's up, Bubba? Yeah, no, that don't fly. You know, Kelly, Seahorse Whisperer, be going tonight. That stuff's not suffered very well. As well, I'll be honest with you. I generally tend to give women wrenches, so that if somebody does start that crap, they're gone. As long as you're legit with it, and I see it going on as well. No, that doesn't fly here. In fact, usually that's a gamer thing. I'll be honest with you. I'm embarrassed to be a gamer sometimes because of that. My wife's got a pretty thick skin. We've had a few guys come into Discord, which we use now. We used to use Ventrilo, and that was never tolerated. Any woman that came in, there's one thing to be joking, and everybody kind of gets it, and we know it's a joke. It's when it starts to turn serious or get weird. You know, or, you know, can I get your number? Can we chat private later? That stuff doesn't fly. Like, get out of here. You know, we're here to game. And in this instance, we're here to talk fish. Or coral. Or tanks in general. The whole thing. The whole hobby. So. Yeah, well, thank you, Bubba. I always appreciate it, man. Thanks for checking in on me, by the way. Always appreciate it. Glad you're doing well as well. Yeah, so. No, we're getting a few more people. My notes went out on Facebook. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Like I said, health-wise, I'm doing pretty good, guys. Thanks for those well wishes and that too. Mental health, doing all right. You know, it's been rough on my stepdad. I went up the other day for Father's Day. That made his day. That I, you know, drove up just for that, and I'm helping him empty out the storage lockers that are costing him like $300 a month. And I said, let's have a yard sale. You know, let's give away the clothes to Goodwill or Frenchie's, which is like a used clothing store here. I said, we'll sell, you know, get rid of that stuff that the girls and the ladies in the family don't want. Oh, sorry. Oh, almost started talking like Kermit there. I hurt myself today. Yeah. You're not the only one positive. I'll tell you what's funny. Is Miss Yoga Pants Reefer there? What's she called? Mindy? I'm sure she knows what she's doing. And I guess her subscription base, I would love to see it. I bet you it's predominantly male. You know, you get your analytics if you actually can go into your channel, go into your analytics. I tell you, you know, for the ones that are telling the truth about who they are, it was kind of funny. I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what to make her. Mindy is paid for. What do you mean by that, Bays? I would love to know, because I have crossed paths with her. It was polite, nothing more. Um, you know, I thought it was very nice. You know, you seem to do okay stuff. Thank you. Moving on. Uh, yeah, it is weird that you know, we were talking about that one day, Bubba. You know, I was on here working it for months and had trouble getting to 200. And I know people that have no videos on their channel and have 200 subs. Whatever. You think she's buying? Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Well, could be. You don't want to get caught doing that. Hey, what's up, Kay? How you doing, Beardo? Hmm. Yeah, that was the one that weirded me out. Almost 3,000 subs, I think she's got. And I'm like, she doesn't talk about anything. It's just yoga pants and sports bras. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Okay, you know. And I told Kelly, you know, don't get me wrong. If a woman will use her assets to help and promote her channel, but the information's there, I don't care. It's more when, you know, it'd be like me doing this whole whiz bang thing, and when you come in here and talk, I haven't got a clue, or I don't have people in here talking about the stuff that we do with a clue. You know what I mean? And I am not a liar, Kelly, at all. Don't you dare. Getting yourself set up, you stream in about 40 minutes, don't you? Or is it an hour? No, I don't remember what time exactly you start. I usually just watch for the notification. What was her main channel about, Bees? I never did actually look into it that much, I'll be honest. Your ears were burning. They were burning. I figured it would be that, so yeah. It's and I'll say it. RotterTube sort of, you know, said it as well. There's girls that do makeup videos and have millions of subscribers, and I get it. You know what I mean? I honestly do. But again, I'd love to see the analytics, you know, male to female on some of this stuff, because I don't know, I find it creepy. I'm not that kind of person, you know. But that's me. You know, that's the way I am. I'm not gonna fault somebody. You want to watch a girl put makeup on and look all pretty? That's your prerogative, I guess. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Positive P. Nothing wrong with that at all. I like random, personally. You know, we try to keep it mostly on topic here, but it gets off topic, obviously. So, You want to pop in for a sec, Kelly, and say boo about what you're doing tonight? Yeah, well, that's just it. You know, it's like Twitch. That whole thing with PewDiePie and Twitch thoughts. And you can look that up, and there's lots of info on that. And it's really funny just to find out that that kind of stuff exists, where it's all about how low can you go and get around it. It's like the unboxing channels. Exactly. I don't. Does anybody watch unboxing channels and are like truly and utterly just into that? Because I put kind of that in there a couple of times, and I'm like, this is just crazy. You can find this anywhere with much more in-depth pictures, much more in-depth information. Then what I can do in a 5-minute video unboxing, ooh, look, ooh, I bought this, ooh, or ooh, I got this sent to me. So, oh, we'll see what we do. We'll see what happens. Now, your nieces, are they young enough that it's toy stuff? Because I know Michael's doing that with, I think it's his daughter. And that's all well and cool. And those are the biggest channels on YouTube, by the way. PewDiePie is probably the biggest. I think he's at 52 million subscribers or something insane. In fact, the whole thing around him, pretty much never heard him at all. Yeah, and that's just it. It's almost that. What am I looking for here? There's a word. It's like vicariously living through getting that. Is the toy unboxings, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna if and when we're working towards a home, I'll let you guys in on that secret. So it won't be. It'll be sometime 2019, but it may be 2020, but we're not sure. But we think it'll be summer 2019 that we're going to be moving into a house, and we're going to have the 120 set back up, and we're going to do not pro shot, but I have a couple of buddies with 4K cameras. And what we're going to do is show the revamp of my tank, fixing the equipment on it, the hinges on the doors, making sure the paint's up to snuff still, working on a few things because the salt spray that was in my... Oh, let me tell you. You guys want a video on that? I still have not finished cleaning up the inside of that stand. Would anybody think that'd be an interesting video to show you how bad it can actually be if you don't have it properly ventilated? Or if you have a lot of splashing and don't have splash guards? Because if you guys remember, I did make a video on splash guard that I personally built out of really, really cheap acrylic. That really helped out. But I can actually show you the salt creep in and around that tank from various spills. It didn't have any leaks. I went looking. Yeah, I think it'd be a good warning video just to show you, like, even when you think you've got it, there's a good chance in the course of a year I had this buildup. I'm not kidding. 1 year that tank was set up. Well, a year and 2 months. It was it blew my mind. To get the tank out of there, I had to be extremely careful. My son helped me carry it to the tub. We rinsed it out as best we could, that sump. And I got a pretty good scrub on. But I'm still going to take the both tanks up to my old man's, put them on the deck, and really go to town. Scrub them out because they're going to be getting stored for close to a year. And I don't want anything to happen to them in that year or get contaminated in any way. So the old man and me are working on where we're going to store it. Because if I get the place I'm thinking of, and it looks like we might, I can store it there. That's no problem. We just set it up, cover it up, keep the cats out of it, so to speak. But, yeah. Oh, for a freshwater planted kind of thing, positive P? Without fish, yeah. Yeah, and that's just it, right? Till you actually get moved and you see what's going on. Look at the size of that clown goby on there. That's Crash, by the way. M. Bandicoot is a smaller version of him. He's still alive in here too. He's I actually think I did it on a live stream. I showed the container that he was living in. It was a little 1.5 gallon Walmart special acrylic tank. And I still can't believe he was alive. I had it around for a long time and showed it. It was awful. But he's alive and well now, and he's got a nice clean tank to live in. So Um, hey Kay, did you want to pop in here so I can keep my conversational skills going? Oh crap. Uh, oh, the 40. Yeah. The wife was looking at the size of my 40. I think she wants to go 40, and I said, "Well, if you want to do that, we can do that on the big stand." And she went, "We can?" I went, "Yeah." I said, "That's simple." I said, "We just drill a tank." I said, "And all I'll do is we'll put a piece of plywood across." I said, "Because end to end, it's almost the same size, right?" Problem with turtles too is salmonella is a real issue. Like any reptile, you know that as well as I do. You got snakes already. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I have never seen a turtle tank that didn't have filtration you had to be on like every 2 weeks. You know, personally, just have never seen it. Yeah. So, what's your email again, Kay? I'm gonna get you in here with me. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I heard about red ear sliders too. Yeah, they need a pond because then there's enough natural filtration going on too. You want Kay? You want to give me your email there? I don't have access to it right. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Or do I? Hold on. Hold on to your dream. Let's see here. I know I put it somewhere. It's just where. No, I don't. Don't have it readily available, sir. Not usually a problem with snakes. Cool. Yeah, I knew it was an issue, but it wasn't a big issue. Can cause infections in the animal. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, I know what I can do. 2 secs, guys. I'm gonna go quiet for just a moment. There we go. All right. So. La da 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 da. Now, summer is definitely. I was looking into statistics. It's always a tougher time for YouTube, unless you're bigger. So, link sent. Okay, we'll move that just so people don't see it. And I have everybody's email now. So, I actually pulled my my drive off my other PC. Yeah, yeah, I know, but it's generally not an issue. You got to watch out for litter boxes. Or cats like my big young male who like to pee in the sink whenever the litter box is too full for him. So, you know, yay. You know what? I think overall, bees, we're gonna stick with the same. I'm gonna let her do a lot of the picking. Hey, Kate. Not bad. I've been. Go ahead and say something again for me. I want to make sure my audio is working. Just a sec. There you are. On my the yellow one.
At least on my phone, it was pale. I wasn't really sure if I didn't really get a color out of it.
If it was pale, huh?
It wasn't the blimmy that you got in there. Let's see if it's still there. I'm gonna check the.
I'm gonna have a look with you right now.
Is it yellow? He looks kind of white. He's got a very round face and some stripes running down by his eyes, right in front of your Lubbock straps.
Oh, you're talking about on my live stream right now.
Yeah.
So there's the Lubbocks. You're talking about these guys, the guy on the right side right now, sort of floating in and out?
He's like dead center at the bottom of the video.
That is a clown goby.
Okay.
Yeah, and they look like that. He's under the right lights, he's kind of green with brownish stripes and blue around his eyes. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I got two of them in there, Crash and Bandicoot. Ha ha ha. So.
Very nice.
Yeah. They generally get along fairly well. He's big enough, he can't catch him right now. And when he gets bigger, or they only get about as big as he is right now. That's it, eh? Yeah.
That works. Great looking fish.
Yeah, and then there's the firefish is doing well in there. Sulu, I've had him forever. He's all healed up. He's eating. I was a little worried because he was hiding a lot. But same with the. I don't know if you noticed, or if anybody did, the blood shrimp in here. His antennae are starting to get nice and long again, very whip-like again. So yeah, he's super happy that the tang's not pulling on him anymore. So yeah, it's been going pretty well.
That's good. Looks like everything made the transfer pretty well then.
Yeah, no real fussing and fighting in here. Nobody's really, the orange striped cardinals aren't being douchebags to the Bengay cardinal, and overall, I've got some coral issues, but we all have coral issues. Like I said at the beginning, it seems to be one of those things that when we're trying to, do this, striking that balance where everybody's happy as far as coral goes, it's just a royal pain in the nutsack.
Yeah, I keep getting every time my A-cans catch a break, I'll either have a chemical swing or put that flame angel in there, and they were looking so good, and 2 days later they're down to one polyp, but now that he's in the sump, it's starting to recover again. It's just a really slow process.
It is, and the problem is
when you're trying to get your tank put back together.
Yep.
And you keep having little things happen.
Yeah, when you have fish, like I try and tell people with the angels, right? Every time it's the same explanation. It's like, look, it's not if, it's when. Right? Yeah. He's going to peck at something. Now, whether it's something you don't care about that grows fast enough that doesn't care, or it's your, I know a guy, I personally know myself, I had a blue tang eat zoes, and he ate $450 worth of zoanthids in a night.
Ouch.
What do? You want to go and grab the fish and smack them around, but that's not really going to work.
A little bit. Yeah. I think I'm done with trying angels until honestly the 100 gallons set up and fully and doing quite well with large colonies, because when you have only one A-can head and you choose on the one you've got, then that's 20, 30, however much you paid for it right out the window. Just gone.
Exactly, right? Like
no time for that.
Yeah, it's like bees. Your Bengay died. I know Reef Jeeves, his Bengay ate his shrimp. Go figure. Of all things to take on a shrimp, you would think it'd be a wrasse of some sort or something like that. No. And for me, it was a tang. I try and tell people there's no give-ins here. Fish are fish. They're like kids in your tank. They're going to behave that way.
I saw what's the Piscia eating shrimp? I can't remember the name of it.
The pistol eating shrimp, Or
No, a pistia, an anemone, pest anemone eating shrimp.
I know Mahanos can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
heard
was on
Mahanos do it. Yeah.
and I saw where the anemone was eating what was supposed to be eating it.
Yeah, peppermint shrimp are the same thing too. I've seen peppermint shrimp, no problem. They get to Mahanos, and the Mahanos kill the peppermint shrimp. Go figure, right?
Right.
Because Bees was just talking about he got a peppermint eaten by a Bengay. There you go. So, you know, I'm thinking we're gonna do angels when we do the 120 up again. And what we're thinking is a flame angel or two, and a coral beauty, but that then lends itself to issues with corals. So then it's like,
I really like the multi-bar.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah. Cherubs are nice too, but they're really aggressive. I have seen weird behavior in cherubs. So, but yeah, it's what it is. Like the whole ick thing is another thing too. Like the wife said, so when we set up, we're going to do a quarantine. I went, oh yeah, nobody's going in that tank until I know they've been treated. I know that seems so hard on the fish, and I agree with Nick from Aquarium Cabinet Solutions that it's really rough on them. But you know what? When you're dealing with a fresh setup, the last thing I want to do is put ick in that fucking tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really don't.
Knock on wood, I've been very lucky with that.
Yeah.
The one fish shop that I go to at this point, because there's 4 or 5 in the area, but I ended up really enjoying going to the smallest one in the area. They're also the most active with our the Reef Club, the local club. So I don't think I've bought anything from any other store in a year, aside from when I went to Reef Dreams in Charleston and I got the clam. But everything else I think all but one A-can in the tank is from them.
Yeah.
Out of 22 corals.
That's not bad. That makes it a little easier too. It also means when things go wrong, you can kind of track where it came from, right?
Yeah.
So, because they want to know too. Some of them don't. Some of the owners will look at you funny and shit, and well, what do you expect? And it's like, well, what do you mean? What do I expect? I expect you to, look after your stuff the way I would, But I guess that's asking too much on occasion. But, like I said, I sold my fish to basically a concentration camp for fish. At this point, I don't talk about it around the wife because she gets extremely upset. And what's really funny is now they're trying to sell a clam, a Tridacna maxima. He's all closed up, and I'm like, you do realize you're not getting $130 for a clam that's on his way out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to help her, and honestly, he's like, if your dad, it's in his tank, and he wants to get him out of there, for one, I said, everybody gave the same response. You need a good light, $140, get a Mars Aqua, put it over that tank, you'll make that clam happy instantaneously. Because you can put enough light in there for him. 2, from what you're telling me, he's not big enough that that's the only problem. Your tank might be, you know what I mean? We went down the list, and you can see they're overwhelmed. Right? So they've gone in, they've gotten into this hobby, and, they say they have
everyone tends to do.
Yeah. They got a 160-gallon tank with a Fluval 206 on it.
No.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, I said, that's not enough. I said, filtration isn't a little box. Right? So they also have an Aqua Clear 110 on there. I said, well, that's a good start. I said, but in all honesty, you need like a Fluval FX6. Oh, they're $400. Yeah, they are. I said, you'd be even better if you could get a Cobalt EXT, 2 of them, for that price. I said, you could put one on one side with one type of media, this one over here with the chemical, or not chemical, but mechanical filtration, and this one over here with the biological. Right?
They'd be so much better off if they just drilled the tank and went with a 40 breeder.
You got it, right? So like, so that
some for less than $100.
Right. So they were looking at me and they're like, "Well, can we buy yours?" Right? And I said, "Yeah, I'd sell you my sump, $250." And they're like, well, I said, and on top of that, I said, it's only set up for a single drain, my sump, right? Because it's that real small inflow section that I've got that then goes to the filter socks and then that goes out to the sump because I have a Durso. So the wife goes, hey, how could you set that up to not be that way? I went, oh. I said, funny you should say that, honey. I can cut right here. I said, and, basically take the brace out that I've got in there. And that would be, I could overflow into that and then set up filter socks in that section. The acrylic ones, the holders, right? And I said, I can get around that, right? And why do I now have... My wife just texted me. Camera's on, honey. Can't talk to you right now. But yeah, it's... I could do it. So they're well, why so much? And I'm like, all the glass work in here had to be paid for. I said, the tank itself, I said, these tanks are in Canada, somewhere between $100 and $150 each. I said, and that's cheap.
What size is your sump?
Mine's a 40-gallon breeder.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys don't end up with the $1 a gallon? Or it's not $1 a gallon
No.
anymore?
You're in the U.S. I thought you were Canada for some reason. No, Canada's very expensive. For 40-gallon breeders, start most stores $225.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're really expensive here.
For $275, I can get a drilled 75.
Bingo. Yep, same here. I could get a 75-gallon cheaper because it's a standardized tank, right? 40-gallon breeders aren't standard here, right? We can get them. They go on sale, and if you talk to your LFS guys, they can usually get them in pretty cheap. Like $100, $125 for brand new. So my guy, he's looking right now for me, and he was very, why are you thinking 40? And I went, I don't know. I said, I might even just do it as my low boy frag tank, right? Instead of ordering the custom one.
That's the eventual plan for me. Once the tank is up and running, once the 100 gallons up and running, the 40 breeder that I have set up as my main display now will become my frag.
Yeah, exactly, right? So.
Yeah. And since I think I'm going to end up going with the Chinese Radions, I think I'm going to go with 2 of those and then some DIY T5 hybrids.
Yeah.
So I'll be setting pretty.
Yeah, I think when we do the move, I'm going to put at least one T5 on the that fixture that I've got for the 20. And I may actually put a second one on there because it could be a lot of things. But at first, I'm going to lower it. So it's 18 inches above. I'm going to put it at 16, right? And that should be just about perfect with full bore blue on all the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, quick question for you. Any pointers on removing rust from hinges?
Yep. Give me 2 secs. I got to go look at the name. I'll give it to you in a sec, all right?
I guess I'll go look at the chat. I think bettas need to be in something that's much larger than a jar. They should be in 10-gallon tanks or maybe a little bit bigger. I feel like everyone gets them and expects them to live in less than 5 gallons without doing water changes.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. What were you talking about, Kay?
No. Bees was talking about someone picking up a betta in a jar, and 2 days later it lost all its color because of stress. And I just don't think that beta should go in jars. I think they should go in small 10 gallon tanks.
Yipper, I do too. Even a 1.5 gallon tank that's flowing.
Yeah.
You know, something.
But people tend to just buy them because they're pretty and because they're displayed in small spaces and think they don't have to change water and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the you know what? We were talking about that. I was talking to a group of people there over at a pet store, and I said the worst thing about this hobby, whether it's fresh or saltwater, are the old wives' tales that have persisted. You know, like betas. Betas live in mud puddles. No, they live in rice paddies. There's a difference. You know.
Surrounded by constant filtration. And on top of that, the filtration is growing outside of the water, which means it's using even more of the nutrients.
Oh. Now, that's what I got to do, right? Okay, so yeah, it's one of those things. You know, people just they believe something they're told, and you know they just get stuck on it really, really bad, and it persists through the hobby. It's like, oh man, I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a bitch fest.
Yeah, it's
you know, it just turns into like just getting real angry about some of the things in the hobby, like saltwater fish, the acclimation thing. You know, when your fish has traveled for 10 to 24 hours, get him out of the bag ASAP. Temp acclimate it and get him right the hell in the tank. It's better for him, you know, or her. You know, people just don't know. You got to drip them. No, you. You don't understand what's happening in that bag. That is full of ammonia. So the minute you hit it with oxygen, the pH is going to go up at kaboom. You know what I mean? Your fish is breathing, you know, ammonia. You know.
Yeah, I don't think I figured that out until, I don't know, maybe, I feel really bad for saying it. I don't think I figured that out for the first 2, maybe 3 years of fish keeping in general. But that's also because my only reference for that kind of stuff was Petco. And
yep, Petco, you know, Reef to Reef and all those other big forums. Well, you got to acclimate that fish. It's only starting to swing around that way now on there that they're talking about that. And it's like, well, for one, Chemistry 101, folks. You know, like, that's what we're basically doing. We're playing with big chemistry sets.
But no one realizes that when they're getting into the hobby. They think that they're just going to buy this fish, put it in a glass box, and fill it with water, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Freshwater especially.
For a lot of keepers, that's it. And then they're out of the hobby in a month to 3 months.
Yep. Or
they've got a tank running for 2 years, and they keep putting fish in it that die. And it looks like crap.
You got it. Like you know what? And me, well, let's talk about that. And yeah, Bees has another big point. Coming back to the hinges, once you have, oh crap, I was going to look that up. Acid. What the hell? I use it on my tools. It's food. Oh.
Thanks for looking out, Bees. I totally forgot about it myself.
I have it up in the cupboard. 2 secs, folks. I'm going to go grab it because I can't remember the bloody name of it. 2 secs.
2 seconds.
Yeah, that confused, and I don't understand what you want me to do with this cycling thing. What do you mean?
Go to Walmart, go to the pickling supplies. You're looking for citric acid. It's just citric acid.
Okay, I've got a bunch of that for pickling and that kind of stuff, and
so,
also for brewing.
Make it really, really, you know, take the hinges off. That's what I'm going to do. Soak them, get all the rust off, and then put Vaseline on them after.
Yeah, so, that's my plan. The guy who had the tank before had a ton. We were talking about salt spray earlier. Had a ton of salt spray, which I find impressive because the SCA sumps are 20 inches tall.
Yep. Me too. Mine's huge.
The water line is at about 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of. I don't know what they were doing.
Me neither. I know where some of it was coming from is the way that my line was running because it's Durso. Because I don't have anywhere near that kind of salt spray in my 20 with the Herbie. Nowhere near, right? But you know, live and learn.
Yep.
But yeah,
I think I've got my sump design knocked out. I think I'm going to go straight from. Well, I think I'm going to split my return with a gate valve on it.
Yep.
Or with a valve on it. So if I plan to run a refugium in the first chamber with possible filter socks. I'll just have the hang-on kind, so if I can remove them if I need to, and have that overflow the top of the baffle into the skimmer chamber, but also have the other side of the T going directly into the skimmer chamber. So if I ever have any issues with the algae, I can just divert.
Yep.
And keep that section by itself.
Yeah. Well, you know what, bees. Sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's just it. Bees, look at my tank. That's clear as a bell. There's no filter sock on here, folks. I can put one on, but I thought I'd leave it while I was doing the ChemiClean. And now the next thing, and the smell went away. So there was definitely something going on, because I was getting that fishy low tide smell, and then it's cleared up. All right, I thought I was going nose deaf, so I actually went outside, breathed fresh air, walked in, and went, you know what I mean, just to see if I could get a whiff of it. Right? Nope. But I'm still going to put some carbon in here to help clear up that ChemiClean. Sorry, I got ChemiPure on the brain. Really? You had somebody who thought $100 for a saltwater tank? No. No.
Not even the smallest tank.
Nope, not even. No. Like this 20-gallon setup with the sump and everything was, what did I say one day? It's $1,300 I got in this. And I'm not even close to done. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've got, give or take, about 3,200 in my 40 breeder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
And I don't think that's counting all my fish loss either.
Nope. And then you get, fish loss, invert loss. You know, like when they realize like a snail isn't an apple snail for, what, $1? Those apple snails go for or something? I said, you're talking $250 minimum for most of them. I said, and then it goes up from there. Like, you want the big turbos I got in this tank, those guys are $10 a piece. Right?
Yeah.
You know, like things like that. And they don't get it. Corals, you know, anywhere from $35 to $80 a head. You know, yada, yada, yada. If you want a softy tank, no problem. You could do a softy tank coral-wise for like $50 and have tons of softies in your tank. And it will look great. It really will if you're into that, right?
Right. I think I'm going to set up my mom's been getting really into my tank whenever she comes over. I think I'm going to set her up a 20-gallon long anemone tank.
That's not a bad idea, because you could get away with about 5-6 clowns in that too if you got enough anemones. Yeah. And make it very interesting. Yeah. So, but so that's what I was going to talk about. Then there's the attachment factor. So you get some fish in that tank that survive well through all your stupidness. Right? You know what I mean? So, like, you know, that's why the new clowns went, right? And, God, I hope they survive. She says they're doing good, so, okay. You know what I mean? But then I have to look at her and go, they're your $100 clowns now. You know what I mean? So, if you kill them, I'm just going to look at you and go, that sucks. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people don't name their fish, too. Is that attachment thing. Like, Hansel and Gretel are my 2 Darwins in here. I've had them right from the beginning. They were my first fish. I got them when they were the size of my thumbnail. They weren't much bigger. You know, now they're 3.5 inch and 3 inches respectively, and I can almost pet them. You know what I mean? When my hand goes in with these guys, they come over. They know who I am. They know that a hand doesn't mean anything to them, right?
Well, it's to have a huge African cichlid tank.
Yep.
And they knew when I came home, and they knew the difference between my footsteps and my girlfriend's footsteps or anyone else's. Like, when I came in the room, they all swarmed looking for food. Anyone else walks into the room, they just keep doing what they're doing. Yep.
Yeah, they know. They know feeding. You know what I mean? They know that you're going to touch the tank. They know when to be calm. Right? If my hand's in the tank, some of the fish in here freak out, but those clowns, nope, we'll go over here. And if you reach over here, we'll slowly move over there. They don't panic. Yeah, so, you know, it's what it is, right?
Yeah. So I should be. My ICP test has made it to Germany as of today. So
Oh, did it?
I'll have
Cool.
my results here in the next day or two. And I can see if I still have any of that 10 left in the tank or the aluminum, and see where everything else is. Especially now that I switched dosing systems in the middle of all this as well. So it'll be interesting to trace elements. Because I went from the BRS dosing to B Ionic, which has the trace minerals and stuff like that added to it. So we'll see where things are.
Yeah, it's, you know, the whole thing with the whole fish hobby in general, reefing hobby, is, you know, the people that want that instantaneous. There's that shrimp, guys. You can see how long his antennae are now. God, I'm so glad to see he didn't get eaten this time.
Yeah, they are much longer than they were.
Yeah, he's doing so much better. He molted already too, by the way. So, like I told the wife, there's a double-edged sword for that for me. Is something stressing him out in the tank, or is the tank doing better for him? And I tell people that's the whole problem with the molt, right? You know, because one bad molt and you lose that shrimp. So, but no, and 20 gallons, and I try to explain that, the nano thing, a lot of people are like, oh, nanos are harder. Not really. They just require a little more attention. You know, and let's face it, if I have high nitrates in the system, I can get rid of the nitrates in that system in a day. I can literally transfer 10 gallons of water over 2 days, like 10 and 10, and beat the nitrates down to next to nothing that quick. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's what I tell people. Go ahead.
I think it's the same level of effort. It's just different. It's applied differently.
Yeah, and then the worst part is when bad things go wrong, they go wrong fast, and then at 20, they're going to go wrong really fast. Right? So it's not going to suffer your foolishness.
But it can be fixed so much faster than 100.
You got it. So.
I've also, my nitrates have been at 0.25 for the last 3 weeks, no matter what I feed the tank.
Wow, that's low.
I have officially, I still run my skimmer, I just took the cup off.
Oh, you're letting it roll over? That's a good idea.
I was talking with Paul and them a couple days ago, and they're just like, take the cup off. And that makes sense, because I need it to keep my pH up. And that's actually sitting at about 8.08 at this point, with a little bit with the aeration that I do. And then also I put 3 teaspoons into my 5-gallon auto top off, and it seems to be sitting at.
That's not bad.
Sitting right there.
Yeah.
I was getting more than 0.2 swings, and now it stays within. In the morning, it might be, well, actually in the morning for me my tank's been on since 2 in the morning. So it's sitting at I think 8.7, 8.8, maybe 8.9. And then when I come home from work at 11 at night, it's at like 8.1 maybe.
That's decent. You know, they'll come up. That's a fairly new tank setup too, right?
It's actually coming up on a year. Sorry, 8.01. This is 1 digit over.
That's really surprising that you know, there's the fun part, watching people complain about low nitrates when we're normally complaining we have high nitrates.
Yeah, I went from having like 40, 50 to, I can't remember what I did that actually dropped all of that, because I got to a point where I was feeding like every 4 days and whatever. I think it was when I finally got my skimmer tuned in properly, and it just dropped. So I went from like almost 1 part per million phosphate and 50 to 60 nitrate down to, I'm at 0.02 phosphate and 0.25 nitrate.
Yeah, nice and low. You know, it's funny though that you mentioned that, because like I said, most of the time we're fighting getting them down. It's another thing when you're
breathing room.
Right, you know what I mean? So now it's the other way for you. And I will be cutting it off soon. I'm waiting for Kelly to kind of hit me up with she's going to start. She should be soon, I would think.
All right.
But
I'm going to watch her stream tonight. I've never actually just subscribed to her today, because I saw her in the chat.
Yeah, she's absolutely the wife. See, here's the thing: we're going to do the 120, but I think what's going to happen is going to be a 40-gallon breeder with some hippocampus erectus in it. Is what's going to happen. And I'm going to sump the living hell out of it and put a big ass skimmer in it. So. Oh.
I would love to do like a 40-gallon softy tank with dwarf lionfish in them.
Ooh, yeah, that could be kind of cool. I just don't want any more venomous fish. It's such a risk for my wife where she's allergic to bee stings and venom in general.
Okay.
So she has an anaphylactic shock problem. And without the EpiPen being in the house all the time, which happens. In fact, I checked the other day, we haven't bought an EpiPen for her in 5 years. So I'm like, maybe we should get one.
EpiPens are super expensive here in the States, like $500 for...
Yeah, $125 here for an EpiPen. Yeah, and I love how it's not covered under insurance. How is it not covered under insurance?
Yeah, with something that can fix some drastic problems so quickly, I don't understand why it costs so much. We actually, one of the companies we ship for ships the empty pens down to Brazil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, yeah, you know. But all right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to cut it off. My phone's going nuts, so obviously somebody's looking for something from me. And Kelly's going to be starting up very shortly, the Seahorse Whisperer. Be sure to check her out, guys. And we'll call it a day there. And Eddie, I'll see you over there. I'm sure you'll be there. She's just doing a she's doing a chat tonight, so it's kind of just going to be probably us morons yakking away and you know with her and her saying sorry a lot and us making fun of her. So you know that's I'm going to tell her. I think she's an honorary Canadian. She says sorry so much. Yeah. So all right, taters, laters, and you guys have a great one. And I will talk to you over there, I'm sure. And you know. We'll take it from there. All right? Night, folks.